like and whatever. The ceasefire, or should I say the genocide of the Palestinian people have been ceased. But understand this, a ceasefire is not an end to the genocide. Secondly, it is not worth all the media coverage when California is burning to the ground and Americans are losing their lives, their homes, and everything they've worked for. And all I'm hearing about are movie stars or rich celebrities who own homes, 4 or 5 homes all over the country. I do not feel anything for them. I feel sorry for the poor and the homeless who are caught in this mess. Secondly, there are no looters in a fire. When there is a fire, there is no such thing as a looter in a fire. You don't loot in a fire. You do not run into a burning building to loot. Understand that. Why are black people being accused of looting when they are trying to save their own personal possessions? But understand this, you know it is a lie when they say that someone is looting a house on fire. You don't loot a house on fire. I'm going to make sure you understand that. Now, secondly, that is a distraction from the real problem of putting the fire out. You have politicians blaming each other, Republicans blaming the Democrats, Democrats blaming the Republicans. They both had a hand in this because there were protections to stop the fires from spreading. Those protections were allowed to deteriorate, and that is why you have the fires that you have now, and you have the deaths now. And the simple fact of the matter is, whatever politician is responsible for not funding the safety nets that were the physical safety nets that were put in place, and the politicians who defunded the fire department, they should be held in the court of law, and they are responsible for the murders of those people. Nothing happens by accident, and they are also responsible for the property damage that has been lost. Another thing, why did people's fire insurance cease right before the fire? Why is Governor Gavin talking about getting with builders to build apartment buildings in those areas that have been burnt down instead of the California government and the United States government paying for those people's homes? I mean, we are paying to keep Ukraine running, and we are paying to keep Israel running. Why aren't we paying anything to keep America running? Americans have lost $36 trillion in the deficit, and Americans have nothing to show for it. Our health care is way too expensive. The school systems are being demonized, with 8 and 10-year-old kids being taught homosexual acts in school, and none of this makes any sense. We, the Americans, don't even have the only reason why a felon has won the election It's because if we would have voted for Democrats, that is voting for immorality, the teaching of children, the teaching of homosexual sex education in schools. So how can you vote Democrats for that? Then you got, we have a choice between the lesser of two evils. And at this particular point in time, there is no lesser of two evils. Trump cuts taxes to the rich. Biden cuts taxes to the rich. He doesn't undo the cuts. Pretends like he is. They all pretended like Trump was going to go to jail for how many years? For 4 years, they pretended like he was going to go to jail. That was a joke. That was a joke. Any other country, he'd have went to jail the next day. All this is BS. All of it is total BS, and American people are being made fools of. The simple fact of the matter is, this started when Ronald Reagan was president, and he cut taxes from 70-something% on the rich to 30%, and now it's gotten to the point where the rich don't pay taxes anymore, and they get tax credits. And not only that, they have the politicians, they have lobbied the politicians to make laws that allows them to bribe politicians. Less than 1% of the people in this country controls more wealth than 50% of the people in this country. And that is not an accident. And if you think, even if the people were to try to finance the candidates to prevent the lies being told about what these politicians are going to do for us, we can't outspend less than 1% of this country, less than 1% of the billionaires, less than 1%. Let me put it this way, we don't have the money. The billionaires have more money to buy politicians than we do. The only thing that we have no choice to vote for. Biden and Trump, that wasn't a choice for president. There was no choice. Both of them were talking about funding Israel. And Biden was talking about funding Ukraine. And Trump, well, he lies, so he'll tell you anything. Doesn't mean he's going to do it. He lied about his taxes, about showing his taxes. And he's a convicted felon. And people voted for a convicted felon so that they could hopefully stop the funding of Israel and stop the funding of Ukraine and the teaching of homosexuality in our schools. You see, we should be talking about the fire in this situation, and we should never have been spending the money that we spent overseas when that money is needed at home. Now, California has been attacking the homeless there. California has been attacking the homeless, and I'm supposed to feel sorry for people who own 4 or 5 homes. Doesn't make any sense. Talk to you later.